Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to the Sunday services at Center for Spiritual Living, Denver. We are a loving and prospering community in the heart of Denver and online. We now conduct hybrid services at the historic Grant Avenue Community Center and Sacred Place, located at 216 South Grant Street, Denver, Colorado. All are welcomed here. A place, space, and face of love. We are a spiritual community practicing universal principles that enrich our lives. We are grateful that you have blessed us with your presence. While online, we'd love to know you're watching with us. Feel free to leave a comment and let everyone appreciate you. With everything going on, life can feel overwhelming. CSL Denver wants you to know we are here for you. Please know that our practitioners are available for personal prayer work. Our licensed spiritual practitioners' names and phone numbers are available on our website at csldenver.org. Or if you have a prayer request, feel free to email it to info@csldenver.org. For your convenience, you'll find clickable links in the description of this broadcast. Rev Elzia, along with all our guest speakers, practitioners, service coordinators, and musical inspirations, want you to know how truly grateful we are that you are with us today. Thank you for your continued support and participation in our services, workshops, and events, as well as providing financial contributions to our center. If you're interested in upcoming events and information, we send out weekly newsletters. Sign up by visiting www.csldenver.org. We deliver services in a hybrid format where we meet in person at 216 South Grant Street. We will also continue to live stream all services on Facebook and YouTube every Sunday. Find us on our respective channels as well as on New Thought Media Network. Again, thank you for your precious attention. Now prepare for engaging enlightenment.
There is a garden where dreams come true, a beautiful garden where God's grace blooms. There is a garden where everything grows, a beautiful garden where love is sown. And in this place of light and love, you can have anything that you're dreaming of. There is a garden where dreams come true, a beautiful garden. That garden is you. And in this place of light and love, you can have anything that you're dreaming of. There is a garden where dreams come true, a beautiful garden, that garden is you. Such a beautiful garden, that garden is you.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. And welcome to Center for Spiritual Living, Denver. My name's Tim Hancock, and I'm a practitioner here at the center. And I invite you to move into the invocation with me. Close your eyes and just take a breath. And allow that breath to flow through your body, cleansing yourself. And then release that breath. And take another breath. And as you're breathing, just allow yourself to be in the essence of the one divine spirit that we call God, that we call Allah, that we call anything we choose to identify with it. And as we move through this service, we know that as we are connected to that divine energy, that we are totally blessed with all that energy is. Compassion, love, joy, happiness, abundance. We know that this service is blessed with the words of Reverend Elzia, with my reading, with the music, with the technology, and with all who are in this room and those who are watching online. We also know that all are blessed, whatever path they are taking, whether it leads them into a synagogue, a mosque, into nature, into a temple, wherever they gather to celebrate the divine. So as we move into this service, we just say thank you. Be in gratitude of all the love, the joy, the peace, the beauty that is here. And so it is. And my reading today on being grounded is from Terry Kozlowski. When I say you need to start each day being grounded, what do I mean? What I mean by being grounded is being fully in the present moment, physically, emotionally, and energetically, firmly in the now. It means that your thoughts are not straying or consuming all your energy. You are not looking into the past with sadness or into the future with anxiety. What I mean by being grounded is being fully in the present moment. When you are present in every moment, rather than attempting to plan everything, you are enjoying life to the fullest. Every day you must reconnect with yourself. Once you determine you are worth the effort, your life becomes more meaningful and you flourish. Being grounded, you expose yourself to the universal energy flowing around you. And when you choose to be fully present, you strengthen your resolve. Tension levels decrease, calm and tranquility arise, and healing occurs. Everyone has been in tense situations where someone is about to lose it. Then a calm individual walks in and everything changes. Every instant of every day, you have the ability to be that calm person who changes the situation for the better. To recognize and feel the advantages of grounding, one must engage in spiritual practice and develop more self-awareness. You may mold it through a variety of methods and activities, including mindful breathing, body scans, daily meditation, and gratitude. By practicing grounding, you prepare to receive messages from your soul. And from Deborah Bravant, Bravandt, however you pronounce that. What does it mean to be grounded? It means no unkind being is taking up space rent-free in your body. It also means you love deeply without the need for revenge. It means digging beneath the machine's mind to understand and see the beauty in each human being. And our founder, Ernest Holmes, being grounded refers to a deep conscious connection with one's inner spiritual essence, a sense of stability and centeredness that arises from recognizing one's inherent unity with the universal mind, allowing for a grounded perspective even amidst life changes. Essentially, it's about being firmly rooted in the divine present within oneself and not swayed by external fluctuations. And now our music from Lynn Floyd is Keep On Walking.
Good morning, CSL Denver. Lynn Floyd here. It has been a glorious month with you. I've had a really great time. I've really enjoyed our time together. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. I'll leave you with this song I wrote with my buddy Jamie Lula. It's called Keep On Walking, just an encouragement to you. I love you. Walk a mile or a minute in another man's shoes. He's got a path to take to find his truth. Any way you spin it, he's a lot like you. Finding his faith on roads that you'd never choose. Keep on walking. Keep on walking. Don't let it cloud your vision. Love be your only mission always. Let go of the old condition. Love be your only mission always. Keep on walking. Keep on walking. Tell a tale, you're in it. You're a brother man's blues. You got a destination now and no excuse. Why do you condemn it when it's not your own? You can't unsee it once the light has shone. Keep on walking. Keep on walking. Don't let it cloud your vision. Love be your only mission always. Let go of the old condition. Love be your only mission always. Keep on walking. Keep on walking. All right, you have a part on this song too. It goes like this. One foot in front of the other, hand in hand, one with another. Walk with your sister and brother always. One foot in front of the other, hand in hand, one with another. Walk with your sister and brother always. Sing it with me. One foot in front of the other, hand in hand, one with another. Walk with your sister and brother always. One more time. One foot in front of the other, hand in hand, one with another. Walk with your sister and brother always. Don't let it cloud your vision. Love be your only mission always. Let go of the old condition. Love be your only mission always. Don't let it cloud your vision. Love be your only mission always. sing it one more time. Here we go. One foot in front of the other, hand in hand, one with another. Walk with your sister and brother always. One foot in front of the other, hand in hand, one with another. Walk with your sister and brother always. Keep on walking. Keep on walking. Yeah. I love you.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to CSL Denver. Let us just close our eyes and take a deep breath and acknowledge the presence of the divine. That boundless flow of love energy that is grounded in a sea of perfection and wisdom that aligns us with the rhythm of life that guides and nourishes and uplifts all things. And as we release all distractions and fears and any doubts, knowing that we are one with it all, and as we surrender to that divine flow, we are guided effortlessly towards our greater and higher good, and so it is. And so it is. So good morning again, and welcome to CSL Denver, a place, a space, and a face of love. A spiritual community teaching universal principles and applying ancient wisdom to empower our lives and the lives of others. Now, I'm going to say that again. Utilizing universal principles and applying ancient wisdom to empower our lives and the lives of others. This is not a solo journey. This is a journey of us and them and we. And when we look at this topic for this morning, as we continue this monthly theme of immersed in the divine flow, when we look at being grounded in that flow, grounding means everything that's rooted, everything that's there, everything that's creating that atmosphere for the thing itself to do its thing, to do its thing. Now, this idea of being grounded, some people might have a problem with being grounded in a flow. How can I be grounded and flowing at the same time? Well, it's very easy when you know what you're doing. It's called aligning. It's called alignment. It's called getting in vibration. It's called synchronizing the rhythm to the thing itself as it moves. Because I think we often get a misconception about grounded because we think about things being solid and fixed. But we know that the universe is ever flowing. It's moving. Right now, we're moving, and I forget how many, but it's a whole bunch of million miles right now. While we seem like we're standing still, but the earth is rotating millions of miles. But it appears to be standing still. We don't feel it. We don't get dizzy. Like, if we was to turn around, we get dizzy and we, fall out and everything. That's not what happens when we immerse ourselves and become grounded in this divine flow of life. Because this state of being in alignment connects us to this free flowing stream of life, this free flowing harmony and balance of all things based on lots of universal principles. But the one that I want to call out right here is that one of oneness. It's all working together. It's not, our founder in his home said, a house divided against itself cannot stand. If the kitchen walls was fighting against the living room walls, you better get out the house because it might be a problem in just a few minutes. And so we begin to understand that when we understand, when we are able to rest in that balance. Rest in that balance. Now, balance doesn't mean steady state. Let's just be clear about that. There is a flow in balance. And if you don't believe it, the next time you ride a bike or a motorcycle, those are great examples, it looks like you're going straight line, but there are micro movements all the time to keep you balanced, to keep you centered, to keep you in a place of groundedness. Because the moment that does not happen, oops, oops, that's a technical term called oops. That's what happens when you get out of alignment and balance. And so to be grounded in the flow of life, to be grounded in this thing called life, God, spirit, pick a name. As Tim said earlier, whatever resonates with you. It's like playing a song in different keys. If I play a song in the key of C and then switch it up to the song key of D, it's the same song, just a little different emphasis on certain things and little highlights in certain places. That's what we all come together to do, to find our rhythm, to find our vibration, our tune, our tone, and then attune to it, align to it. Then you can be grounded. Then you can sit easily in that space. Because you see, we live in a co-creative reality. A co-creative reality where there are no isolated objects. There's nobody in here that's isolated. Although we're sitting in separate chairs in a little space, we're not isolated. We are connected in a web, in a network of invisible energy, of invisible oxygen that allows us to exchange, that allows us to benefit, that allows us to heal ourselves and each other. That's why we said in the very beginning, we do this for ourselves and for others, because we know that there's a healthy, grounding medicine when we work together. That somebody said, all things work together for good. I don't know who said it. Somebody said it though. All things work together for good. When what? When you put your trust in the divine. When you put your trust in the divine. And so when we realize that we're connected in this network, this web of life, the first thing that we do to really sink deep into it is we have to realize that in this grounding, it is ruled by certain mental and spiritual laws. It's not arbitrary. It's like the internet. The internet is a mirror of life, the flow of life, right? It is a network of networks that keep networking. There's nothing that you can't find on the network. And by comparison, there's nothing that you can't find, do, be, or have in the network of God. Nothing. The only impediment is that you got to align with these spiritual and mental laws. That's the only thing that keeps me from upright on the bike is I forget the law of alignment and start just wobbling and just, not taking it seriously or just being off kilter, as they say. But it don't take long to when you fall, you say, oops, again. That alignment with these spiritual and mental laws that ground us in this field of oneness, this field of knowledge, this field of power that provides health and abundance and prosperity and healing, and all these things are rooted, if you will, in that groundedness. Now, I use a lot of reference, and I love Ernest Holmes for this, where he, that seed soil plant thing he did. Boy, that thing is amazing. And being a country boy and understanding a little bit about that process. And if there's anyone that understands planting and growing what they call root vegetables, potatoes and things like that, you don't even need the whole potato to grow another potato. You can take a small piece of that potato, cut it, eat the other half, put that other half in the ground, and it'll take root. It'll become grounded and not only produce, it'll reproduce. Amazing. Now imagine if we took that understanding and said, if I just give a part of myself to this thing, this flow would be easy. This divine benefit would come with ease. And then if you take that a little further, you start saying, boy, what would happen if I gave my whole self? I can give a part of myself and grow abundantly. But if I give my whole self, we step into that realm of infinite possibilities. Infinite possibilities. Now, when we align with this universal law of balance and reciprocity and correspondence, and I mean, we could go on all these laws. They got many different names and many different systems. Science has a set of them, and Christianity and religious science and Islam and Buddhism and Hindu, but it all boils down to one thing. One thing. We have to be like water, as Bruce Lee would say. Bruce Lee would say, be like water, my friend. Be like water. Because when we are like water, the main thing about water, there's no resistance. It just takes, wherever you pour it, it's all right, that's good. I'm gonna just do my thing. I'm gonna adapt, I'm gonna move, I'm gonna stop, I'm gonna go to fit the container, to fit the situation, to fit the environment that will allow me to be at ease. Now, Lao Tzu said this. Lao Tzu said, the supreme good is like water, which nourishes all things without trying to. Think about that. It nourishes all things without even trying. That's what happens when you give yourself totally to the divine flow. I like that idea. I like that idea of doing things and not even trying. Sometimes we call that now synchronicity. You know, things just happen and you say, oh my goodness. I was just thinking about that. I was hoping 2 weeks ago that this would happen, and the day it happened. Be like water, my friend. Step into this divine flow. Allow it to move. And when we can do that, when we can become grounded in that way, we can live in a way where we trust the universe. We can trust the universe. We don't have to worry about if we're connected. The challenge becomes, if you will, how do we stay connected? How do I enhance that connection? Because that's what, you know, when I can stay connected and I allow the water element of myself, and you know what they say, the human body is 70% water by volume, but here's the real kicker, 99% water by cellular makeup. So we are water, my friend, which means we can flow with ease. We can find containment and freedom in whatever situation we find ourselves. But we have to stay connected to what we talked about last week. That's that divine spark. That divine, that kindling place within our heart, within our mind, within our soul that says, be, and it is. That's all it has to say. When we can do that, and there are no external circumstances that matter. Because if I can kick the flame off, if I can kick the spark off, what can I do with that water? Well, let's see. What can I do? I could boil it. I could turn it into steam. I could put it in a turn and make it some energy. I could do anything with that life-giving water. Oh, and by the way, in the water is the oxygen too, so you ain't missing nothing. Don't think you're missing something because, you know, I just can't live by water. You know, somebody said you can't live by bread alone, right? Well, no, you can't. You got some water. You got some water. I tell all my friends and family when they come to Colorado, they're coming for the first time, I say, drink plenty of water before you get here. If you don't want to get the altitude sickness, if you don't want to feel woozy and off balance and not grounded, especially if you're trying to go on a hike in the mountains where the ground is kind of shaky anyway. It's a simple thing that we have here. It's an easy thing to do, but we have to put ourselves in right alignment. We have to be in tune, on time, and ready to go. Ready to go. Because Isaiah says this in the Bible. If we look at Isaiah 40:31, it says, those who trust in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. That's what happens when you can get grounded into this thing. When you can trust the divine flow. When you don't have to worry about is it flowing? Is it there? Even though I just turned that water into steam and I can't see it, I can see the effects. That's what life is about. We don't all, you know, there's something about something unseen and trusting. And you know the thing. I just notice how I can just say faith is the evidence of things unseen. That's what this flow is. You don't see it necessarily. You see the results of it. You feel it. You feel it. And that's what we need to get into more, is the feeling of things, not emotional. Now, I'm not talking about emotions. I'm talking about feeling. If I put my hand in fire, I feel it. But if I numb myself with all kinds of things, just as if I put Novocaine in my hand and put it on the fire, I might not feel it, but I will definitely feel the effects. It's the same thing with life. It's the same thing with life. When we get into the flow, we know, boy, I'm going around fire. I am not putting Novocaine in my hand because that might be a mistake. Same thing in life. We don't put fear and guilt and doubt and all these things that numb us, keep us from stepping in the flow, keep us from realizing the flow. Now, there are many different ways to get into this flow and be grounded, but I'm going to say, from my perspective, there's two things that are just right there. You know how you feel sometimes you say, boy, I felt that. You can't even express it, but you felt it. To do that, we must become self-disciplined, and we must connect to spiritual practice. There's no way to drive the car than to put the key in and turn it. You just, or push the button. They got all kinds of things now, but it's the equivalent of putting the key in and turning the ignition to get that what? That spark. Even if it's an electrical car, there's a spark that happens that gets it moving, that puts it in the flow. That's what we need. That's who we are. We can't run from that. We can hide, but we can't run. And so when we tap into that, we get this thing that the mystics talk about, this direct experience of God itself, a direct experience. I don't need you to tell me about driving the car or riding the bike. I can experience it for myself when I align with these principles, when I do the self-discipline, when I apply the practices, I can do it. Think about the first time you rode a bike. If you can think back, okay. If you can think back when you rode your first bike, had your first bike ride, more than likely somebody was running alongside you, trying to keep you upright and help you get your alignment and get your balance, and oops, you fell. All right. They didn't say, don't you ever try this again. They said, come on, get back up. Even if you didn't want to, get back up, dust yourself off, get on it. We're going to go again. Now, sometimes that go again might be a day or a week later. But with that encouragement, with that self-discipline, with that encouragement from that divine hand, if you will, you were able to do it. And even to this day, if you have not ridden the bike in I don't know how long, it won't take you long to get back on that bike and say, oh, I got it. Here we go. That's what we have to do every day in life. We got to get back on the bike. We got to get back in the flow. And when we're grounded in that divine flow, there is something that is magical. There's something that happens. There's something about this direct experience. And I think Apostle Paul says it like this in Galatians. In Galatians 22 and 23 says, the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. That's what we get when we fall into this thing. Now, that's what everybody wants, I would believe. Everybody wants peace and joy and forbearance to go through their problems and challenges and be faithful because they have been in this flow before. They know it'll work. I don't have any doubt when I come in this building and cut the light on. No doubts. I unless they didn't pay the bill. That's the only reason. If the bill ain't been paid, now I'm a little shaky. But if I know the bill has been paid, I hit that switch with pure confidence that the light's going to cut on. That's what we can do. God is always there. The divine is always flowing. We just got to cut the switch on and do it with faith. Do it with the self-knowingness that ask and it is given. Seek and ye shall find. It doesn't take a lot. And when we can embody these ideas, we get roots. We get rooted. One thing, again, that Ernest, boy, he's a smart son of a gun. These things about these plants. One thing about a plant, when it gets a heavy wind or a heavy rain, what did the plant do? Sends them roots deeper. It gets grounded even more. So when it faces the challenge, it says, okay, I trust it. I know it. I'm going to hunker down. That's what we have to, all this complaining, and God knows I do some complaining, but it don't help. It makes the matter worse. But if I was to sink my roots deeper into these universal principles, into understanding and applying these practices, I can weather the storm. I can weather the storm. Now, the thing that is necessary is the question, right? We talked about AI, and we were having a conversation today, and the CIO of my company we did a little AI presentation, and someone asked a question. They was in fear, right? They didn't put some Novocaine in their brain, and asked the question or made the statement that AI is going to take our jobs, and we're going to do this, that, and the other. And and he calmly sat there, took a deep breath, and says, the only way that happens is that you don't get engaged with it. You don't learn how to use it. You don't learn what it's for. Then you are absolutely, positively, 100% correct. It will take your job. It will control your life. But when we understand that there's a web There's a network of things that work together. There's nothing isolated. That's what this is. And it's like anything else. How are you going to use it? How are you going to get into a spiritual practice with AI? The CIO, he threw a monkey wrench at everybody. He said, well, when you use it, do you thank it? Do you say please and thank you? Everybody looked. Most people said no. A few people said yes. Because it is an iterative, generative learning thing, which is what we are. The mystics talk about having this mystical direct experience. We are learning. We are AIing the universe, if you will. So how do we do this? So how do we get just grounded in this direct flow of life? I want to give us three things. Three things. The first thing is we must align with love and gratitude. We got to align with love and gratitude. It's all one thing. It ain't going to always be up. Sometimes it's down. The sun comes up, the sun comes down. That's just part of life. But we have to trust it and be in love with the flow. When we align with love first, everything else becomes in alignment. When we align with love first, everything else falls into place. Rumi says this. Rumi says, your task is not to seek love, but merely to seek and find the barriers within yourself that you have built up to block love. What blocks or barriers have you placed on yourself in your life to keep you from being connected to the divine flow of love? So we got to align with love and gratitude. That's the number one thing. The second thing is be present in stillness. Be present in stillness. We have to begin to be still and know, somebody said. Be still and know. Because if I can cut out all those things that anesthetize me, the doubt and the fear, if I can be still and know, then I can know which way to go. I can follow the wind. I can follow the route. The flow is always in the now, not in the past, not in the present. It is always in the now. So I need to be still and not get too caught up on these opposite ends, because it's right here. It's right here. There's a Bible verse that says this: do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. That's Matthew 6:34. If you put that one on the screen, Matthew 6:34. Be still and know. All right, this is Carolyn Mice. So we'll just jump right on Carolyn because Carolyn, go back. One more. Oh no, you were right. I was wrong. Go back the other way. See how I'm messing up the flow? See, this is what happened. This is what happened. So when we look at life, and Carolyn says this in that silence, in that stillness, the soul always knows what to do to heal itself. The challenge is to silence the mind. Silence that's the challenge. How do I silence my mind and get rid of the self-doubt and the fear and the confusion and the judgment and we can go on and on and on. How do we do that? How do we do that? We have to get quiet and still, because the spirit often speaks in whispers. And if you got too much chatter, too much going on, you're not going to hear that whisper. You're not going to hear that whisper. Be still and know. So once we've been able to align with love and gratitude, and we understand and begin to practice this stillness, this being present in the stillness, the last thing that we have to do, here we go. The last thing that we have to do is surrender. got to surrender control. We are co-creators. We are co-pilots in this endeavor. So we have to just trust the pilot, the thing itself, and do our part. And do our part. Now, we're flying on the wings of love when we do that. We're flying on the wings of love. And when we do that, we don't have to worry about the plan. We don't have to do any of that. We can just sit in our seat, grab the wheel, and do our part. There's a verse in Proverbs 16:3 that says, commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your plans. Just have some intention. Just have a little faith, and then turn it over. Surrender it to the Lord, and it will get done. When? In divine timing, in the magical flow that we ground ourselves in, and then we sit still and listen and wait and watch and feel the presence of the divine. And then it happens like magic. It happens like magic. So when we trust the Spirit and know the way and express gratitude for every step of the journey, we can give thanks in all situations, all circumstances, all events. We don't worry. Look at the lilies of the field. They don't toil. There's no strife. They just hang out. They just hang out and wait for it to happen. And so when we can do this, and we can establish this as a practice to pray, to meditate, to journal, to contemplate, we're setting that part of the root vegetable into some fertile soil and allow it to grow and grab roots and be grounded in this thing called life, in this thing called you. And so when we give thanks for this sacred time together, and we allow ourselves to connect and reflect and to live in a way that allows us to be, then we can do what this poem says. And I didn't make a slide. It's called I Surrender. I am learning to live between effort and surrender. I do my best and hope for what I want, but I do not resist the direction of the wind. Through surrender, I move from outer turmoil to inner peace. By letting go of the expectations and outcome, I've transformed a painful experience into a positive, fruitful endeavor. When fear gets the best of me, I surrender to love. When I release my resistance to love's presence, I'm able to receive what I need, what's trying to come to me in my life for my highest good happens. And so it is. So let us pray. Dear Mother, Father God, that complete aspect of life, that presence that is always in the flow, exchanging, giving, taking, moving, allowing the full expression of itself to be known, to be felt, to be heard, to be experienced. That is who and what we are. We are chip off the old blocks, as they say. We are endowed with these inalienable spiritual laws and mental capacities that connects us to the web of life and allows us to flow with ease and grace. And so I know as we take that in and we sit with it and we allow that to just marinate all the way down to our bones, we become fortified, we become rooted, we become grounded in this thing called life. Understanding that as we move, everything moves in synchronicity with us as we deliver our plan of being children of the Most High God. And so it is in that understanding, it is that knowingness that I call forth right here, right now, for everyone here, those who may hear this later, and those that are online, that we are developing a new way of living, that we are beginning to release and let go. We are beginning to experience life, not just talk about life, not just complain about life, but we are beginning to experience life, to be fully engaged in this divine love that is always present. And so it is in that understanding that I give thanks. I give thanks for this idea. I give thanks for this understanding. I give thanks for this practice, this teaching, and for everyone that's here that helps create this environment for each other. And so with that, I just release it. I let go, and I know that it is absolutely, positively so. And so it is. Amen. And so it is. Amen. And so, as always, we like to end with a call to action and an affirmation to sink this in. And so the call to action this week is, this week, look at the walls or barriers we have created to block the divine flow in our life, and write them down, and then work to dismantle them. Even if it's just one, right? And then when we look at this affirmation, I think it really helps anchor this. I am grounded in the infinite flow of divine spirit. I move forward in peace, trust, and harmony, knowing that I am always supported and guided by love. And so it is. And so it is now that time for sacred giving. We thank you for your support, however it shows up, whether it's in your time, treasure, or talent. As we continue to build this community, as we continue to become a beacon of light for those who are ready to do the real work. Now, I shouldn't say nobody's doing not the real work, but I know we're trying to do the real work here. So no matter how you give, whether you go to our website and hit the donate button, or whether you give here in the center, or whether you text to give, or whether you do the old-fashioned way, just send a mail, check, or a money order to the P.O. box, which you can find on the website. We appreciate it. And as we do our sacred giving, to anchor that into our center, heart, into our spirit, we place our hand over our heart, so if it feels comfortable, and we repeat this affirmation. This perfect gift is spirit informed, circulating and blessing all that it touches. Freely I give, and joyously I receive, and so it is. Amen. And Tim is going to come up. Come on up, Tim. And I just want to make an announcement that he don't know about. Next week on Tuesday, 2:00 Mountain Time, on the New Thought Media Network, myself and Reverend Robert, we will be interviewing Mary Ann Williamson. So that's at 2:00 this Tuesday coming, Mountain Time. And you can just go to www.ntmedia.org and you'll find us on there. We'll be broadcasting on Facebook and YouTube. So find that. We're going to have an hour interview with her. She has a new book out called The Mystic Jesus. And we're going to be talking about this mysticism where we have direct experience with the divine. So set your clock, set your watch, set your everything. and join us if you can. Tim, go right ahead.
Thank you, Reverend Elzia. All right, right after service and until 12 noon, we have our divine dialogue. Please join us for that divine dialogue. We'll have coffee and tea and fellowship. I noticed somebody did bring something to snack on as well. Thank you very much. And we have the coffee, so get it right after service, and then we'll circle up the chairs and have our divine dialogue, where we discuss whatever's on our mind regarding today's talk or anything spiritual. Next Sunday, the 22nd at 10 a.m., join us for our community cafe. Practitioner Alice Nutter will be sharing her insights into the enthusiasm for the winter solstice. And let us all return to the light with a short meditation followed by some delicious conversation. And that will be a potluck. We bring just little things to share, nourishment. We don't have a regular service. And it's really, community cafe is really, it's a divine experience. It is. It's just something. The winter solstice does fall on the 21st in the Northern Hemisphere, and our ancestors dating back to the Stone Age have celebrated the winter solstice as a turning point that marks a return of the sun and rebirth of the light after the shortest day and the longest night of the year. It has long been considered a promise of new beginnings, renewal, and transformations. So all are welcome. Bring a friend, and of course the snack to share and join with us. Every fourth Sunday of the month, we do this community cafe for the tasty potluck. And remember, it is not broadcast, so you do have to come in person because we don't have it on YouTube or Facebook or anything like that. So please join us. It is really incredible. The November-December Science of Mind magazine is available for purchase. These are now $4 instead of the regular price. And so you are getting a bargain. They're over here on the table, and there's just a little jar that you can drop the money into. And we do have older Science of Mind magazines, plus a couple CDs over there if you would like, just for your taking and to read. And then if you have any extras to bring back to share, go ahead and do that. Okay, now if you'd like to hear some good news of the world, to affirm the good news of the world, we have a link on our Facebook page called And Now the Good News. This program is put together by New Thought Media Network and airs Friday at 5 p.m. Mountain Time, or you can watch these anytime during the week. Just go to the Center for Spiritual Living Denver website or Facebook page, and click on any post that says And Now the Good News. New Thought Media has over 40 hours of weekly broadcast, and we invite you to go to www.ntmedia.org and check out what they have. There's something for everyone. And don't forget Tuesday.
Yeah.
What time?
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock Mountain Time. And we are so truly blessed here at Center for Spiritual Living Denver for all who's chosen to support us by showing up on Sunday and watching on our services online. We know that as we move through the rest of the year, the Divine Beloved is guiding and loving each and every one of us. Thank you for joining us. And now let's close out with Karen Drucker singing I Am So Grateful.
I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for all that I have. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so